Can you hear me now? I've been praying that God would deal with this issue because I've been shadow banned. On the lives, I'm getting like 500 views over a 3-hour period. That's not bad. That's like 0.5% of my 0.5% of my subscriber base. I should be getting 10% per time, which is about 1,200, 1,300. So I've not added any new subscribers. Yeah, so if you're joining the live, thank you for joining. Just come on in, come on in, come on. Let me see if I can send a message to people in the Patreon so they can join in. Oh yes, thank you, Jesus. So how are you doing, Sean? Can you hear me? You're doing well. All right. So hey, Serena's Les, man, how you doing? It's been a while. Yeah, I mean, like I'm getting sorry, excuse me guys. I need some water. I'll go get some in a bit. But Serena's Lens, it's been a while. How's life with you? Please like the video. The more likes you give, the more everybody gets to know. Sean, remember, if you have any questions, you can always get in touch with me. Eloquent Kenneth, how you doing? Good day. I wanted to have a conversation with you, Ken. I had some, Sean, I have a question for you. You can call my 1-800 number if you want. Do you have the number, Sean? My 1-800 number? I have some questions for you. I want to know how you're faring, because yeah. Please like the video, everyone. Like the video, like the video, like the video. Good to see me. Good to see you too. Good to see you too. I appreciate you. Serena's Lens, one of my OGs that I haven't seen in a long time. Yeah, I have some people who have been following me on YouTube for the longest time, so it's nice to see you guys coming on, right? Put on my chapeau. Is that what they call it? What did you say? You said, Sean, you have some questions, right? Okay. Like, I'm concerned for some of my, because when I ask people who are following me on my Patreon or YouTube members, they say things like, it's also confusing. It's also this. That's why I'm staying within a certain framework so that people are like, you know, they learn. If you learn a platform like one very, very well, you may not need a third and a fourth one. You just need to know one or two well, very well. You know, in crypto, $10,000, $5,000 can change your life. But you got to know what you're doing, and you have to stay within a framework. And that's why I've been teaching people on my Patreon. I just have I say 3 DeFi, but majorly one, because if you can know one well, and you're a master at that platform, you can turn your life around. On Sunday night, I was going to have a live on Patreon to teach people how you can actually use your crypto to issue yourself a credit card for your own self. For example, let me give you an example. Yesterday, I was looking at an interest rate of 0.98%. Not 1%, 0.98%. So if I borrowed $10,000 off of that platform, I'll be paying 0.98% per annum. I have a credit card that is 12%. Why? If you are late on your payment, they jack it up to 20%. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, people are just being weighed down by the financial system the way it is. So the freedom that understanding DeFi brings with it, I think is important for people to know. Sometimes if you know a lot, you get confused. But if you know a little and you know it well, you can navigate quite a lot of stuff. So that's where I'm at with things. I don't know if you guys agree with me. Hello, Kirkpatrick. How you doing? Like, what should I call you? Kirkpatrick Burke or just Kirk? Oh my God. So what are we talking about today? Bitcoin and crypto. Now, some of you might have found out that in the Epstein files, it was found that Jeffrey Epstein was involved in the research and creation and funding of Bitcoin. Do you believe that he was the one who authored Bitcoin? Do you believe that he was behind Arthur Brittle and all those guys? Do any of, what do you think? Let me know. I want to hear what you guys think, and I'll tell you my thoughts. Kirk is fine. All right, Kirk. Did I pronounce the word Kirk? Kirk. I love it. Good. So again, Kirk, are you following me on Patreon? I'd love you to be on my Patreon. I'm trying to increase the followership there because that's where I'll do a lot of stuff. Okay. What do you think about the Jeffrey Epstein and Bitcoin thing? What are your thoughts? Anybody? What are your thoughts? Sean, are you available, Sean, or you're busy? Big Daddy Roro! How are you, my friend? Okay. All right. Come up to the 50 bucks. Just come up there. Try. I'm telling you, you will not regret it. You will not regret it. Yes, exactly. This is where I'm going. I want to hear what people have to say, because somebody said to me, I will never touch Bitcoin. I don't want that dirty coin. I'm going to only do XRP now. And I'm saying, okay, well, you're saying that, but the reality is that Bitcoin is not just going to die like that. They wouldn't let it, because a lot of elite have money in it, right? So it's their baby. But you have to understand, Jeffrey Epstein was a business mogul. He was a predator. He was a pedophile. All of that stuff. But he had a lot of money. That guy was worth over $500 million dollars. That's a lot of money. Okay. Some people say he was a billionaire, but I think he was estimates have it at 500 million. That's a lot of money still. And so what I view what's happening right now with all of the media stuff, the women who are abused when they were 16, 14, some of them went there willingly. I'm not making an excuse for what happened to them, but I'm saying in all that has happened, right? The people that say, well, they've been abused and all of that, and they want justice. This Super Bowl, they just had that. They had a video that was shot with the women's mouth taped. It's not, I don't know, are their mouths taped? Because some of them have received payment out of Jeffrey Epstein's estate under a non-disclosure agreement. They are not allowed to say how much they received. So are they still going to prosecute those who did whatever? Well, I think that should be the case. But going on and on and on, it becomes a political circus, and people can see it. Like we're talking about people who actually eat babies. This is crazy, and this happens all over the world in satanic cults. But what we're having right now is that people in the satanic cults they are brazen. They don't care. They're now coming out. People are angry at the administration in the U.S. right now about and it's just so sad that people are being manipulated to move their eyes away from what is most important, which is getting justice and prosecuting those who are involved. That's what the goal should be. Not getting Trump, because all of these crimes happened under 3 presidents, right? You've got Bush, Clinton, and Obama. These are the 3 presidencies where all of this evil happened. Like, it's still going on, but Epstein is not the only one. There's a lot of people with money whose job is to entrap powerful people in government, in the states, in the municipalities, anywhere with this kind of evil. But it's unfortunate. And they worship Satan, and they believe that they have a lot of power with that. And they do have some power, but when the people with light show up, they vanish, they vamoose out the window. All right, now, having said all of that, my personal opinion, like I said, I agree with Sean there. I think he was a major face. He was a financier. He was everywhere. Anywhere you look, you see Jeffrey Epstein, that type of thing. He was friends with a lot of people. Well, I'll say business acquaintances, because he was always talking about investing in this. He gave a lot of money to MIT. So should we close MIT down? You see what I'm saying? Like, this is research. He was all, but did he do anything on the campus there? Did he abuse students on there? Most of those students would be too old for him anyway, because he wanted people younger than 17. So it's really sad when you see what's going on and how it's becoming more of a political circus. One guy wrote and said, "Oh, it's a lot. There was no black people there, so it's all white people." And another person said, "It's all old white men." Another person said, "Oh, there were no Muslims there. It was, Meanwhile, so it's like you go to all these other countries, these things also exist. I remember when Gaddafi was removed from power and all of the things that they were doing came out. So look, at the end of the day, I just want to say, I put out a post today on my Patreon about Bitcoin, how it's been, you now have a new Bitcoin EVM. It's called, BTCVM, which is on the Proton network, right? Well, it's now called the XPR network. How did they do that? What they did at Metallicus is that they worked hard to improve Bitcoin from the 7 transaction per second to now 7,000 TPS. That's a massive improvement, because the light network was supposed to be the solution to Bitcoin's slow crawl. And then they have now improved on it in such a way that Bitcoin will be very relevant in the scheme of things. And also because of Flare, you're going to have also the BTC, Flare BTC. You can also wrap Flare, you can wrap Doge, and all of that. The same happens for the Proton network. You can wrap Doge on there. I think, is it Doge or USDC? You can wrap Solana. You can wrap Litecoin, Bitcoin, XRP, HBAR, Cardano. These are all wrappable assets on the Proton network, and the bridging is done automatically. So you can see what is happening. Slowly and steadily, DeFi is morphing into TradFi. TradFi will eventually collapse into DeFi. There is no running away from it. I'm telling you. The reason why you can get 7 and 9 up to 9% on your stable coins is because this one reason. It's cheaper to do value over blockchain. It's cheaper to transact value over blockchain. Think about it. I'm going to give you an example. Email completely eviscerated the post office. And I want to say, Katie Couric was the woman who said years ago, the email will never replace the post office. Katie Couric said that. She said, email will never replace. And in the year 2000, somebody else said that the internet was never going to survive. That people were ditching. In fact, there was a major would I say an opinion, where the newscaster, or was it, sorry, the reporter, after they had done their research, they said, well, they evaluated and they said, they came to, see, these people, they earn massive salaries, they are insulated, they don't research, they don't really do any research. They don't care. They just parrot whatever they have agreed on or whatever the owners want the people to believe. So people did not invest in internet companies. But because of all that has happened over the years, some of us have studied history. We see that history tends to rhyme. And now we're investing in the technologies that will control the next 100 years. That's why they call it generational wealth. Because many of us will be gone. In the next 30 years, we will not be here. If the Lord tarries. And so what you do right now, the investments you make right now, you are controlling a piece of what if you own a home. Listen, let me tell you something. If people paid into social security and into their registered retirement savings here in Canada, please like the video. There's only 9 likes. I mean, liking my video is like giving me money, to be honest, because it makes others know. If you enjoy what I'm doing here, like the video, because I am shadow banned. Okay, so, and you can help me get the word out. So somebody wrote on X that her parents paid hundreds of thousands of dollars, close to $1 million into Social Security. At the end of the day, they're going to get the amount of money they get at 67 years old and up to their 70s is nothing compared to, they can't meet up with it. Social Security payments is behind inflation because of bad management. If you keep borrowing and inflating debt, the people who are working now and our children's children will be paying the debt of based on what politicians have done today. This is why it is important that you and I take our destiny into our own hands by the grace of God and have the wisdom of the Lord to know where to invest. Because when you invest on your own, when you take care of your future on your own, and you're not depending on the government and what they will pay you in the future, even companies, if you work for, people work for 30, 40 years for a company and they give you a watch. It's not even a gold watch. And the watch has the name of the company on it, so that every time you look at it, you remember the company. Even after, and when you get to wear the watch, that's when you are now old and wrinkly and you are putting all this, the watch on your hand. What does that do for you? So we have to take our own destiny into our hands. And that's why we're talking today about Epstein, Bitcoin. I finished that. And then the next thing we're talking about crypto and the intersections of faith. The Bible says a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. And that includes women too. When the Bible says a good man, it talks about everybody. Because God made Adam first, and he sees women even through Adam, not because they are not individual. We are all equal in the sight of God, please. So don't let the feminist approach come and when we get into all our heads wrapped up because of that. Let me see what people have written. Almas plus Maria, how are you? I've been thinking about you, my friend. I wanted to reach out to you to see how things are going from our last conversation. All right, if you need to reach me, send me a message in the Patreon, okay? James, is it delusional to expect XPR network to read double digits? It's not. James, follow me on Patreon if you have not, please. For Truth on Patreon. I would appreciate your follow there and join one of the tiers. If you are new to crypto and you need my support as we go forward, I need you to go into the higher tiers also. Using religion to justify financial investment is insane. I don't know what you're talking about. Financial investments is important, whether you're a Muslim, Christian, animist, Hindu, everybody invests financially. So, but I have a personal experience. If you don't have to come on here and say what you don't agree with. Dog using religion to justify financial investment. Get out of here. Okay, my bank offers 1%, 1.5% APR if it's lower, 50,000. What a joke. Exactly. And I'm telling you that you could do better with DeFi. You could get 7%, 8%, up to 17%. I'm not kidding you. So what's the point? What's the point? You know, so. Hey, Eduardo Cabon, how you doing, my friend? God bless you. Did you email me one time? I'm sorry, guys, if I did. Some people email me and I'm unable to reply in time. But let me know if you need to talk to me. You can send me a message in the Patreon. I like XPR. Have you really gone into the DeFi setting? Do you know anything about it? James, do you know anything about it? That was what I was going to do a live on. It's my favorite DeFi, and I have my reasons why. My reasons for yes, it is an ISO 222, but it doesn't get as much press coverage, and there's a reason for that. There's a reason for all of these things, and I'm going to share that in my private Patreon. Please, guys, if you're interested, send me a message on Patreon and say I want to be part of the private group. So where I'll just sit down and kind of show you some things. By the way, you can learn it on your own. You don't need to come to, but I want to tell you that I have certain things that the Lord has shown me and is teaching me and showing me how to use it for our benefit. Very important that we learn this. It's a skill you have to learn. Eric, Norman, how you doing? Oh, thank you so much. Oh, by the way, thank you for being a member here on my YouTube. But if you are interested, go ahead and join my Patreon as well. Well, I don't know how much it'll go to, but I'm telling you, friends, here is what I want to tell you. XPR is the only ISO crypto that is less than 1 penny. I did a document on it that I sold. I gave for free. Over 100 people downloaded it for free. Then I put a price on it. I think it's at $14.99 or something like that. And I was showing you how investing in XPR will set you financially free. Now, don't get me wrong. The big dog is XRP. That's the big dog. But because some things, you see, when you have something that has, let me show you something. Let me show you something. So let's look at XPR, for example. I'm just opening a web page here on my computer. So you would see there is The total supply is 31 billion. Circulating supply is 28 billion. That's a third of XRP's supply. What that tells you is this is going to move quickly to $1 before you even know it. Today, if you buy, you can buy 1 million units with 2,346 US dollars. You can basically become a millionaire, right? With 2,000, let's just say $2,500. So that when it hits one, you buy 1 million units. When it hits $1, you're in a million already. This is why you diversify your investments. Now, a lot of people don't have $20,000 to buy XRP to get a good bag. But you can put a little bit of money into this network right now. Why? This is the network that will take care of over 1,000 credit unions, including those big ones: Navy Federal, Police Credit Union, Military Credit Union, all of these big credit unions that pay the ones for the unions, association, metal workers. There's all kinds of credit unions in the United States, and credit unions account for. Let's do a little bit of a search. Okay, credit union total. All right, so all right, I'm just asking the Gemini a question here. Let's see what AI tells us. So listen to me, everybody. As of early 2025, total assets in federally insured credit unions in the US reached approximately 2.37 trillion, with total loans outstanding increasing to about 1.65 trillion. This is total assets, okay? Now, we are not talking about the value. Remember, when you look at assets, if I had a house that had a building that had 50 apartments, and each month the rent is $1,000, that's 50,000 per month. Now, the apartment itself may be worth, if each one is what, if each say 1-bedroom apartment is worth $100,000, the building will be what? 100 times 1,000 times 50. Is that 5 million? Yeah, that's about 5 million, right? $5 million. Now think about it. Depending on where it is, if it's in Los Angeles, it will be much more expensive. If it's in some other place near the boonies, it'll be low. But let's take 100,000 per unit as our cost per door. You multiply that by 50, you get 5 million. Tell me if I'm wrong in my math. Now, this building will generate 50,000 a month times 12. That's 600,000. In 10 years, that's $6 million that comes through that building. So when you look at the value of assets, we're not talking about the value flowing through every day. So you have to look and see. You probably have 5 times or more flowing through the credit union. Just like you have the a Swift moving 1 quadrillion, and people say, how can 1 quadrillion move through? Is it the GDP? People don't understand the difference between GDP and value moving from person to person. If I move to $20 to you and you give me $20 back, I give you $20, you give it, as long as the $20 is going back and forth between me and you, if it goes back 1,000 times, excuse me, $20, 1,000 times, that's $20,000. $120 moving 20 times in the economic system. These are very simple concepts, okay? So 2025, total assets in federally insured credit unions in the US reached approximately 2.37 trillion. Now think about that. So I just gave you an example of an asset, a house, an apartment block, generating $600,000 a year. Multiplied by 10 years, multiplied by 20 years. Oh my bazingas, that's a lot of money. It's like a toll gate. So you have these credit unions as toll gates, as money is passing through, ATMs are busy, things are, and this is all moving onto blockchain. This is all being tokenized on blockchain. This is all going to begin to move quickly. And like email, it becomes cheaper to operate. Chandralyn, are you still there? Because I try to break these things down so that people can understand. Do you get me what I'm saying? So you are tokenizing, you are taking all of these assets and putting them on the credit, on the blockchain. And because they're now on the blockchain, value moves quicker. Value is less expensive because you don't need a lot of human beings. There is AI involved in scouring and protecting and all of that. The cybersecurity is even at a higher level, right? So, see what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you have this massive highway, super highway, with properties on either side, valued in trillions of dollars, producing trillions of dollars every day as value moves back and forth and is tokenized on these blockchains. Make sense? So this is how you connect all of these things and understand, because a lot of people are buying crypto, they don't know what they're buying. They don't know what they're buying. They're just buying because somebody said it's going to go up. Adangbe, that is tokenization. I've been explaining tokenization for since December. So tokenization, look, imagine this piece of paper is 500 acres. There's nothing on it. It's bush. And there's a highway going across it. There's a highway. This is the highway. Watch me. This is the highway. We'll call this Adangbe Highway. There's a toll gate here. There's a toll gate here. Okay? Imagine this land here, and this constitutes 500 acres. Once you start building buildings here, all right? So you put 500 houses on here. Each of them is worth 1 million. That's 500 million. Before you put the houses, the land was worth only 20 million. Now you put 500 homes. You put a school. You put a library. You put a Dunkin' Donuts. You put McDonald's. You put a church. You put a stadium. All of these things are there. Baseball field. Now it's worth $1 billion. What you've done is that you built on this land. There was nothing there before. As vehicles come, they pay and they pay. So there's a hotel here. People can stop by and stay. Do you see? So in a sense, blockchains. What does the blockchain have? Wallets. That's why there's a wallet here. There is an exchange here. There's all kinds of things on the blockchain. So the blockchain now has value by tokenization and by use. How do you tokenize on the blockchain? You take all of that value and you move it through the system called blockchain. It's all based on cloud technology. Blockchain is email. Cryptocurrency, cryptography is simply email money. If you understand email, you'll easily understand a blockchain. What does email do? It removes post offices. It removes the need for all of that stuff. Do we still have post office? Yes, we do. Will banks still be there in the next 10, 20 years? Yes, but not in the way you know them now. Not in the way you know them now. So when we say tokenization, imagine an empty lot that you are building on. So that is, what do they say what do developers say? They say, oh, we're building. They are always building on a blockchain, building on a blockchain, building on a blockchain. So that different things are being built, different things are being connected to the blockchain. And then there's the interoperability between blockchains. Many blockchains don't talk. You can't transfer one crypto from one blockchain to the other. They won't work. You have to wrap them. There has to be a bridging mechanism to wrap one crypto on another blockchain. And let me give you how it works. If you are a citizen of Germany and there's no visa agreement between Germany and Canada, for you to travel to Canada, you need a visa. You need to wrap yourself in a visa. That's the only way you can work, enter or work in Canada if you're a German citizen. Does that make sense? Yeah. So XPR supply, you said has infinity. Let me see. Yeah. So here's what they've done here is that they've not said. So they've not said how much is the maximum supply, but there's a total supply of 31 billion. For me, 31 billion still makes a lot of sense because they could go up to 100 billion. It doesn't really matter. That's why I said XPR can easily go to $1 or $2 or $3 very easily, because right now the market cap is 66.8 million. As soon as the ISO coins start doing everything they're supposed to do with Clarity Act working very well, these things are going to fly. That's my honest opinion. And by the way, before that, if if there's a bull run, which there will be in the summer of this year, in my opinion, you will see prices go up, because everything still goes the way of Bitcoin as we speak. One day I was sitting down in 2024 and I saw XPR do a 7x within a few days. 7x. Just like that. So it all has to do with some improvements and things that they've done. But regarding that question of supply, yeah, I don't know. Don't ask me that kind of question. I don't know. Do what you feel is best for you. I'm not sure. Like, see that, like, if you have 100,000 XPR, if you are expecting it to go to $1, what is that? That's 100,000. It's a very simple thing. Like, I can't be telling you that on here. You know, like, I don't know who's listening. I don't know who knows you. I don't know. Yeah. So you gotta, yeah. At the end of the day, you ask yourself, what do I want? And you do your research. I've given you a lot of information already. If you understand my point, yeah, you just have to, some of those things, you can send me a message in Patreon or email, and when I have time, I'll respond to you. But honestly, let me tell you, I was saying it earlier, anybody who can buy 1 million units of any cryptocurrency, you'll be fine. But here's the thing, not everybody can buy 1 million. So what do? You go for the cryptos that have 2 to 3 zeros, right? And that have potential of clearing those zeros. This is one of them. That's my belief. Not financial advice. Yes. Yes, the value of the houses will be on the blockchain. Exactly. Tokenized by their address. So when you have a house at number 750 something road, it'll be given, it will be made into a set of numbers and letters, just like your address for your wallet. However, they've actually advanced the technology in such a way where you're like Proton. My name is my address on Proton. If you send me anything on Proton, it's my name. So you can use your name Adangbe. So a time is coming where they will be able to get all that. Do you know 270 billion is being tokenized right now on the on Avalanche with Bergen County? And Avalanche has only like 500 million tokens, I think. Let me check. 500 million tokens supply. So look at Avalanche. It's at, okay, so sorry. Maximum supply is 715 million. Total supply is 463. James, I won't really worry too much about the maximum supply. Because if you remember, look at Shiba Inu. Shiba Inu is trillions and trillions and trillions. At the end of the day, it's what it's going to do within the system. And they're already at total supply of 31 billion. So even if they move their supply to 100 billion, I think they'll still be in a good place because they are handling all of the credit unions. Yes, sir. James, you are correct. 100%. It is, I just told you, credit unions. So XPR was built on the Metal blockchain, formerly called Proton, by Marshall Hainer. Marshall Hainer and Glenn Marianne are the co-founders. Marshall Hainer worked at Ripple. Then he worked at Stellar. That's XLM. Then he left. After leaving Ripple XRP, he worked with XLM. Then he left XLM, where he worked with Jed McCaleb and the team, and went and started this one, Proton. Then Proton changed its name from Proton or the XPR network to what is it called now? Well, it's the Metal blockchain, but the company behind it is called Metallicus, and the blockchain is called Metal blockchain. And their wallet is the WebAuth wallet. So you can download the WebAuth wallet and use that for your stuff. I talk about it a lot because I like what they're doing. It's very futuristic, and I think they have some of the best securities as far as a hot wallet is concerned. Yeah. I don't compare them. They do different things, so there's no need for a comparison. Hey, how you doing, King Jacquin? God bless you. How is Michigan? Good to see you, my friend. So I'll be back in Texas in April 9 to, what is it, my friend? April 9th. Yes, I'll be back in Texas. So if you want to join us for the conference, send me an email and I will give you all the details. If you are new to crypto and you are investing a lot of money into crypto, you need to learn about crypto. 4 days of crypto immersion. 4 days of crypto immersion. So come one, come all. Yes, we're early, but always diversify. Be happy with what you have and diversify. It has 41,000 holders. It's a very little known cryptocurrency. It's an ISO crypto. They don't talk about it. And I can tell you this, I think it's deliberate. It's deliberate. It'll shock. I think it's going to shock a lot of people. So, I mean, again, I don't know about 777 price. I'm not sure. I'm betting on $1 to $3. Why? Because sometimes some of those massive prices take time. And then because of the low supply, which again, they've not declared what their maximum supply is, which I think, I don't know, but there's a couple of cryptos right like that. So that's why I would just stay with the lower level, right? But they're not international. It's mainly US. I know they were trying to do some work in Australia. I don't know if the Australians are that ready for all of that. So. All right, I'm stop talking. Yeah, so that's okay. I mean, like I'm not gonna get into $10, $20, $30. You know how much trouble that has gotten all of us. So again, it may get there, it may not. I'm not really too bothered. Like I said, I like to keep my hope. You know, last year Jake Claver said XRP would get to 100% sure $100. It didn't get there, right? So. XRP. So again, about being better or not, or transaction speed, it's gonna, they are already, yeah. I know, you know, you gotta, yeah. Otherwise, we'll just stay on XPR and, you know, it's a good project. Like, don't only look at the coin, look at the look at the ecosystem. The ecosystem is huge. It's like what they are doing. Oh my God. They just released the BTC VM. That's Metal. Metal just released that. No. Yeah. So they just released what's it called? You see, I made that mistake. I had XPR for a very long time. It didn't do anything. I sold my bags. And I felt a check in my spirit. Why did you do that? Not even a year later, it shot up 7 times. But thank God, the Lord corrected me and I bought back in. But at a lower, I didn't have as much as I had prior. Then later, I now added to the bag. But this is what happened. If I had not sold my previous bags, I would have been sitting very pretty with XPR. Then I decided to research and I went deeper and deeper. And then I made up my mind. I said, I'm going to stay within this DeFi environment and teach the people who follow me on Patreon. I'll show them everything that I have learned and how they can now have, you can be your own bank. I'm actually working on being my own bank, even to the point of paying off my mortgages in the future if I can. And how do I do that? I'm just looking at the way things are going. If you can, whatever you can do with 5,000, if you had 50,000, I will have 500,000, you can do even more. So you can actually pay off a credit card that is at 10% and move that credit card into your investments, right? And cut out. I've been saying this. If I have 10,000 in DeFi today, I'll cut out 20% of it as my credit card. That's $2,000. So if I want to fly somewhere, if I want to fly to Texas, I'm actually going to do it with my Texas trip. I will go onto my DeFi and purchase my ticket within the DeFi environment without ever going out of crypto. You can do all that. And it only takes you 10 minutes, not even. The thing that will take you time is booking your flight, finding the time, everything. All within the cryptoverse. Never once touching the bank. Stronghold I believe is a good project. I think they'll be around for a while. 99% of the cryptos, personally, I think they're going to go away. So if you have 100,000 cryptocurrencies, 1% will remain. And most of the most successful ones are going to be in the US, just because of the way it is, right? The 27 trillion economy. Then you have those that are reserved for other countries. Like Britain has their 2, Quant and ETN. Asia has XDC, which of course XDC now has an office in the US because of the work that they will do with commodities. They're already working in Dubai, in the UAE. So The Lord highlighted AVAX to me a while ago. Many don't speak of that. Yes, AVAX is look at it. It has only, people like to talk about the crypto that they are invested in. They talk about it all the time. So I get it. It's like you've put money in, you just want it to do the best. So AVAX at its highest, it was $134. Today is $9. So that's more than 10 times if you were to invest in it. But more than that is that I believe that AVAX, because it has a supply of 715 million, less than. So think about Solana. That's what you're going to see with Avalanche. Avalanche has it's going to be, it's like your Solana. And already they're tokenizing 270 billion at the Bergen County in New Jersey up by 2030. That particular county entered a contract with Avalanche using Balcony. Balcony is the go-between, the company that helped them, sign off all the contracts, get their own little money from there. Now, that's the largest county with about 900,000 or 1 point something million population. The rest of the state will follow, which means you're going to see about 500 billion tokenized on Avalanche from one state. Now let's multiply that same. And New Jersey is not as massive as some other states. Now you bring in Florida, you bring in Texas, you bring in all of these states. You tokenize on Avalanche. You tokenize. So if the Lord told you about Avalanche, in fact, my wife was saying to me, man, we got to find a way to get into Avalanche because I don't own Avalanche. But I'm just telling you, for some of you are saying, hey, Tommy. Hey, Tommy, how you doing, buddy? God bless you. Says, when Toyota. So for those of you who are thinking, okay, what do I do? This is an opportunity. Look, if you are able to refinance your property, you have a piece of land you haven't built your cottage on, that land has grown 3 times, take a third of that land, take 10% of it, and go and put it into some of these cryptos. But please, this is not financial advice. Just do your own research. That's what I would do. Because I don't want the government to take care of me. In the sense of when you are 75, they say, okay, this is how much we give you. Because the government cannot keep up with inflation. They are creating the inflation. They are the ones creating the problem and then they're giving you the solution. It's like creating a virus and then giving you the medicine. I don't get it. People can't see that, right? So, all right. This has been a very wonderful. Any questions before I go? Yeah. Thank you for all the likes. Please get the likes up. There's 22 likes and 45 people in the room. Tommy, how you been doing? You been doing okay? Follow me, guys, on Follow me on Patreon, AH for Truth. I'll appreciate a follow from you guys. It will be awesome to have you join my Patreon. You've been pretty good, and work is going good for you too. Yeah, so the summary of what we talked about today was the Epstein files and Bitcoin. Thank you, Sean, for giving such a very enlightened take. I think it's you're thinking. That's what I think, right? And then crypto and faith. We must build our faith. Jesus says, when the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on the earth? We must build our faith, and that involves talking with God, asking questions, seeking his face, asking him to purify our hearts and to prepare us, Serena, is there anything else the Lord showed you about AVAX? Like, how did you, anything else? Oh, may you receive healing quick from that sinus infection. Serena Lenz, are you still here? Did you get anything else? Did you feel that the Lord was highlighting anything else to you with respect to Any more news, or is she gone? Yeah, this guy says XPR won't go away. Of course, it won't go away. Didn't you hear what I said? I said they are working with. I said they're working with the credit unions. Credit unions aren't going to go away. They're here. Okay, it was in a vision. I was showing some people in the future how much the price skyrocketed. Did you see anything with price? Yeah, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be yeah. Woo. I can see it. Like, think about it. Solana is Solana got to like $240 or so, $200. AVAX will get to that price too. And you know the funny thing, think about it, guys. Let's do the math, okay? So AVAX right now is at what's the AVAX is at $9.07. So let's do the previous high was previous high 2021, it got 134. It's never been up there. That was that massive bull run, crazy bull run with the stimulus, all that stuff that happened. Now let's think that let's just imagine. Okay, the next high was like in 2022 was 95. Nice 9. It's 10 times lower than its highest high, and the highest was 134. So I'm going to do the math. Okay, watch me. So let's say 134 divided by 9. So that's 14 times, 14x. So you do know that the next bull run, you're going to see AVAX. It won't be at 134. I really believe it's going to be at about, hey, Johnny Craig, how you doing? AVAX is going to be, okay, he showed it to me, the price, there you go. AVAX is going to be sitting, I truly believe, we're going to see this thing at anything from $250 to anything maybe $400, because it's become a tokenizing engine. That's where things are going. I just gave you an example. I say go research. Just type in your Google or a search engine, Bergen County tokenizes. Bergen County, Bergen County, New Jersey. Yeah, they are moving in a very good direction. Yes, that's a place you should buy 1 million tokens and just hold it, because it's easier for you to put 1 million in there. And then let's see, what does it cost to get I would say $1,000 tokens. 100 tokens of, yeah, you want to go to 500 tokens of this one. That's $5,000, and at $25 you'll be at yeah. Anyway, the Avalanche you should have purchased at a low price, right? That's just the thing. When it came out at $4. It wasn't $2 something. It wasn't a cheap crypto. It wasn't intended to be cheap. They went on big time, but I think it's going to really have a high value. But I would just stay with my XPR today at this point. Yeah. How do you mean, Adambe? What do you mean? Like a cautionary tale that you think it will fail? What do you mean by that? Please explain. There will be some difficulties, but it's like trying to fly an aircraft, right? Yeah, fly. When they say humans will fly, the people who are trying to create the planes for people to fly and all that, there was many accidents, people died, new things. The same thing with drilling for oil. The same thing with electricity. People were shocked to death trying to get electricity for masses. Oil, people died on oil rigs, fell into the ocean, never to be seen again. But what we have to understand is innovation is necessary for humans to move forward with technological advancement. So there will be some casualty, but in the process, you can't avoid what's coming. So our letters have been tokenized. Letters. That's why we have email now. That's exactly what I mean. If you see what I mean, what email is doing, that's what real estate will become. The houses aren't going to be moved. They are there. It's just that everything will be tied to this superhighway, technological superhighway. And again, if you are a Bible believer, this is how the Antichrist comes in. You know, this is how the globalization, the one world government comes in, right? That's just it. No, XPR isn't going anywhere, Johnny Craig. I didn't say it was going anywhere. The guy, I think he really likes XPR, the James guy, but it's not going anywhere. Adangbe, I think there's others who have gone in there, not just in the news. Do you understand what I mean? There's others who are actually, did you know that some companies have actually been approved that you don't even know about? Quietly. While all this distraction is going on, Epstein, there's a lot of things happening. In the UK, tokenization is happening with Algorand, but people don't know. I'm just searching something up right now. So I don't believe that they're the first, but okay, so watch this. I have a list here. So tokenization of real world assets. I don't really care about price, my friend. Tokenization of real world assets on blockchain involves converting ownership rights of tangible or financial assets like real estate, bonds, treasuries, commodities, or equities. Or the entire stock market will be tokenized. Adambe, all of it. Into digital tokens. This enhances liquidity. See that? Fractional ownership. For example, my house, if I decide to tokenize my rental property, I'll take the whole value, put it on the blockchain, and ask people to invest in it. So even somebody with $100 can invest and be getting a little bit out of the $100 for a long time to come. So it also allows for liquidity because the disenfranchised monies are able to come on, right? Traditional banking is limited, and then the blockchain doesn't sleep. So BlackRock, through the BUIL, is called BUIDL, BUIDL, tokenizes US treasuries and additional liquidity products on blockchain. It's one of the largest by total value locked, exceeding billions. Ondo Finance, President Trump is actually involved somehow indirectly with the Ondo and the World Liberty Financial, tokenizes US treasury bonds. Are you listening? Corporate debt, and other financial assets, offering regulated on-chain yields. Securitize, a leading platform for tokenizing digital securities, funds, and various RWAs with compliance tools for asset managers and institutions. Did you know some universities are already tokenizing? In fact, some universities some universities now have what they call like the computer IT department, all of that. They have nodes. They're running nodes and they're earning money from running nodes, validator nodes, and all those types of things. Centrifuge, Koinly, Real IT, tokenizes US real estate properties, enabling fractional ownership with rental income payouts. I can give you all this. Polymath, DTCC, the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation. This is the next massive institution like SWIFT. It's a clearing house. They do quadrillions a year. JP Morgan is using Onyx, their own in-house crypto, to tokenize government securities, but they have to put it on a blockchain, right? Superstate tokenizes public funds and US government-backed securities for instance. A lot of this is happening, but they're not telling people, because if people know, you'll be seeing people protesting on the street, not for Epstein, not for anything else. They'll be protesting because this is going to cause people to lose their jobs. So anybody who knows would go and invest in these technologies. For countries and jurisdictions, you've got the United States leading in tokenized treasuries, Singapore, United Arab Emirates, Hong Kong, Switzerland, EU, with various countries like Luxembourg. You know Luxembourg, that small country where the rich people go and hide their money? They have tokenized funds. Germany, and tokenized bonds and securities. France, distributed ledger technology, registered securities, lead under MICA. MICA, remember MICA? King Charles signed MICA in December of 2023. That is, how they came in, but Europe had already said it's called markets in crypto. Markets in crypto. What's the A? I don't remember. I don't. But it's all about crypto and national rules. Others are as follows: initiatives in the UK, Japan, Australia, Brazil. Brazil is big on tokenization for pilots in tokenized finance and land registries. So Adangbe, when I mentioned Bergen County, it was because I felt that it was easy for people to find it. So if you do Bergen County tokenization on Avalanche, it'll bring it up. The company that helped to bridge that, to do that, the contractor, is called a Balcony. These people have gone far. Invest in technology and just relax and wait. Okay. Because many of us are not cryptographers. We're not. How do you invest in a company that's been, they won't come to you and ask you to bring your money and put it in there. No, because they don't know you. It's the guys in t-shirts taking over the financial industry from the guys in suits and ties. The Zuckerbergs, all these people who wear t-shirts and go around the place. People like Elon Musk, when he wears a suit, you think he's not serious. They're used to wearing t-shirts while controlling billions and billions. He will be the first trillionaire with crypto because he's at 700 billion right now, and crypto will explode his wealth. So, I don't know if that, yes, look into it. But again, the interesting thing is just, we look at certain cryptos, there will be a lot of tokenization. XRP, there will be, XRP ledger will be tributary. There will be tributaries coming into the ledger because they have to interoperate. For the last 2 years, interoperability has been a big conversation, even in the World Economic Forum, which I don't like, by the way, but that they're talking about it. They're talking about it. So, yeah. But it's the knowledge that we know this is where things are going. So when you see that, oh, Australia is tokenizing, Brazil is tokenizing, all of this, I mean, then you just see all these other countries, Nigeria, everywhere. Because when computers came out, all of those countries didn't have them, and suddenly they all have. When cell phones first came out, how many countries, poor countries, didn't have it? And suddenly everybody has cell phones everywhere. This is how this is going to be. But the average man on the street doesn't know what tokenization is. They'll just realize that people, what's going on? What's going on? So, but investing in the technology today, you are positioned for when things explode, you can ride the wave. We just had somebody here, Serena's Lens, tell us that the Lord showed her that Avalanche went up, and I asked her, the Lord highlighted it to her. So that's, Avalanche is just going to be, in my opinion, like Solana, price-wise, because look at the, and Solana is geared to go to $500 and $1,000. So if you buy 10 Solanas at $3,000, you have $30,000. Again, we're not just talking about money. We're talking about positioning yourself to have assets that will be worth a lot in the future to take care of you, your family, and the next generation, because this is generational wealth. This technology, I think, will be around for the next 50 to 100 years. Will there be upgrades? Yes. Upgrade. But this is the way. Blockchain. If you really look at, and if you look at biblical prophecy too, how do you bring everything together? How do you monitor everyone? Where you can see the two prophets, the end time prophets, dead on the street for 3 days. There has to be a system. Did you know that telephony will go through blockchain, like these phones we have now? The technology we have right now is called cell technology, with cell towers, but they're going to pass everything through blockchain. The military they've tested this thing in warfare and all this. That's how they're able to move money. I've talked about, when you watch James Bond, how do those agents travel around the world moving money? In real life today, there are real James Bonds that travel around the world moving money, and you don't even see the money they are moving through private networks. Another crypto influencer prediction, $10 for XRP, highest it will go. I don't get into those conversations anymore because I just find out that people don't really know what it is. So, and it's just, what did that one say? Oh, $10. This one, huh? $8? Huh? Really? No. If you research a product, you get to know. When somebody says it's only going to go to $10, on what basis? What's their, like, what are they have to give you 3 reasons why this will happen. Then you can go and confirm those 3 reasons. It's not enough for people to just say, oh, it's going to $10. That's the max it will go. Okay, tell me why. You have to have a reason. If I tell you that it will go to $1,000, I'll show you why. I'll put up the XRP calculator. I'll put the amount in. If the XRP ledger is moving 1 trillion per day right now, the price can't be less than $400. But it's not even moving that much. If you go to the Ripple website, you see on the ISO page, you see how much they've moved so far. They've not updated it. But all the different companies they bought are doing trillions of dollars, like Hidden Road and all of those broken rails. They are moving massive amounts, as they've always done. But ownership is Ripple. So then the connection is coming. The plumbing is coming. So they bought this one here, that one here, that one there, that. They're going to connect all of them. That's what they're doing right now. You buy a company and that's healthy, that's doing what you want to do with your big bank. So now they have a crypto bank, they have Hidden Road, once the entire system is integrated, everything is where it should go. That's why XRP is a long-time harvest. One prophet said it, and I agree with him. It's a long-term down the road harvest. So will the price rise while we're waiting? Yes. That's why you don't just wait. Learn about DeFi. Learn how to use your increase. Because say XRP goes to $9. Good. Don't cash out. You can take a little bit of profit, but use the new value to secure other cryptos so that your wealth can increase. That's how it's done. Natcast LLC. God bless you. All right. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you all for joining me today. It was nice to see some of my OGs. Come on. Muyal Oha 96761. Thank you for coming on. Adangwe, always a pleasure to have you on here. Johnny Craig, God bless you. Serena's Lens and everybody else. I'll see you guys. Bye-bye for now. Look out for the link for the private training and meeting on what's it called? Patreon. Okay? And I'll see you guys. Bye-bye.